This one is titled as the Rustling Plan #1, and it's a division of Lot 1 out of the larger parcel labeled Parcel A, and it doesn't have the word subdivision right in the plan name up here, but it is, if you look at the master plan up here, you can see that Parcel A, they're taking acreage out of it. And that's further reflected in the next slide. The next plan, the Rustling Plan #2.
Is this Exhibit 2?
This is Exhibit 2, is Rustling Plan #1. I believe you had it from, it wasn't reduced at the prior hearing, but okay, so now we have a second example of what you would call a recorded subdivision plan, and that's Rustling Plan and Plan #1. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you, again, not to belabor the point, but can you say what specifically leads you to believe that this plan, Plan #1, is a recorded subdivision plan?
First of all, that there's a master plan in the corner up here that shows the larger parent tract, and then this lot #1. Usually when something is labeled as a lot in a plan like this, it is a pretty clear signal that it's a subdivision of that lot out of a larger parcel. So that would be Parcel A of 59.3 acres, which was larger before. Yeah, it was 60.4 acres, and that is actually on the next exhibit.
Okay, and so, did you flip it to 2? We should be on, I'm sorry, yeah, we should be on 2. Plan #2? Okay.
Oh, Rustling 2,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, which is part of exhibit #3. Sorry, I thought this was. So again, you did your search and this showed up in your search.
Yes.
And what about this particular recorded plan tells you that you're dealing, and again, this is in your experience as a title searcher. And what tells you when you see this that you're dealing with a subdivision and recorded subdivision plan?
As I said about the last exhibit, there's this parent tract here that was larger, and now it's been, parts of it have been carved off. And specifically, I'll zoom in on the part that lists the prior acreage of the original parcel, minus lot #1, which was subdivided in the first Rustling Plan, and then minus lot #2, which is right here. So there have been 2 parcels now carved out of the original parent tract. So this is the second subdivision of the Rustling Plan #2. And the signatory blocks over here, they're very small. I'll zoom in on those 2. They specifically say that it's the Rustling subdivision #2. So Russell and Rustling.
So this is similar to the first exhibit we looked at, where the document itself identifies the plan as a report, as a subdivision plan.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So again, as a title searcher, you would consider this fairly obvious to be a subdivision.
Yes.
And again, just for context, as we go along, and we take the parent parcel from number 1, and we keep moving, do we see a change in the overall acreage of the original parcel?
Yes, the acreage is being subtracted from the parent tract and subdivided into small parcels.
And that's a process that is happening with each recorded subdivision.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
All right, we're getting there. So how many have we identified so far in your search?
That's 3 subdivisions.
Okay. And I'll show you, well, let me move to the next one because I think you said there were 5.
Yes, yeah, this is basically the same thing as the last one, but there's just another lot has been carved out down here, so it's just one more.
Okay. And just so we all know what that is, could you take the pointer, do you think, and show us where the additional lot is on number 4? Or number 4?
This right here, the one on Exhibit 1, that is the little parcel that was subdivided off. It's about 2 acres. And on this plan, it's taking the big tract and subtracting this acreage. So subdividing that parcel off the bigger tract. And then adding them together to form the services property.
So what we have in number 4 is actually 2 places where acreage or land is being added to an existing parcel and taken off of another parcel.
Yes.
So we're switching around, we're moving lot lines as we go along as well, correct?
Yes.
And in this case, it was Mr. Otis's parcel, which was on the receiving end of a small 2-acre carve-out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there anything else on Roslyn plan number 4 which would indicate to you that it is a subdivision?
The tax assessment numbers changed. It's handwritten on here. But the area to be transferred, that 1.6 acres here, that was, it was going to take the parcel number ending in 07. Whereas 00 was the remaining acreage here. It's parcel 12-00 was being changed to another parcel number. So because of the, here's the 07, existing lot being added back together is 07. So
why would it be important to know that the parcel numbers, the tax parcel numbers are changed?
because for purposes of assessing the owners, the ownership has changed so completely that they're just reassessing the lots as basically new parcels.
So again, we're taking one parcel and we're creating multiple parcels out of the one.
Yes.
And we've read the ordinance, and I'm sure the supervisors and Mr. Volz are familiar with their own ordinance, but is that not a classic definition of a subdivision?
Yes.
In addition to being the definition which is in the ordinance.
Yes. And this particular plan, subdivision, is labeled here as a is the Rustland Plan number 4 is referenced in a prior deed to Mr. Otis's property as the describing instrument for his property. So this pretty much created the parcel description too.
Just for clarification, you did not give us this one that's on.
Oh,
That's this one.
That's this one.
That's one coming out now.
This is one of your emails.
Thank you.
So what is the exhibit number?
5.
And the last one is 4. You refer to the one on the screen that's up there now.
This
Just
is
so
this one. This is one.
Chris S. is fine with it all.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Rustland Plan number 4, exhibit number 5.
Right. That's what it
So it's when I was referring to plan number 4, exhibit 5. All of something happened. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few other questions, and then I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to let the board ask any questions they have, but also Mr. Rapture will have an opportunity to process them. But before I do that, let me ask you a question. In your experience, again, as a title searcher,
I'm not sure if people can hear you.
Oh, in your experience as a lawyer that does title searches and has training with abstracting a title and searching courthouse records, are you familiar with the term a consolidation plan?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the concept of parcel unification or consolidation?
Yes.
And in your review of these 5 subdivision plans, did you observe or did you come to the conclusion that some of them involve consolidation?
Yes.
Is it inconsistent to have consolidation and subdivision in one plan?
No.
So it's possible to have both.
Yes.
And did you find in the 5 that you looked at that in fact in some of them there both a subdivision and a consolidation was occurring?
Yes, I'd say probably in Rustland Plan 2, which was Exhibit 3, Rustland Plan 3, which was Exhibit 4, and then Rustland Plan 4, which is this one. There were parcels which were being simultaneously subdivided from a larger parcel and then consolidated with a smaller one.
Have you looked at the ordinance, the Uniform Development Ordinance for Cecil Township?
Yes.
And in reviewing it, did I ask you to pay special attention to the definition section?
Yes.
And did you read the definition of a subdivision?
Yes.
And again, your opinion is that the 5 exhibits, the 5 plans that we've introduced meet the definition of a subdivision.
Yes, it is.
And with respect to consolidation, did you find a definition for consolidation anywhere in the ordinance?
No, not a definition.
Did you see a section of the ordinance which attempted to describe a consolidation and how to treat a consolidation under the ordinance?
It was in one of the definitions of a certain kind of subdivision.
So in the ordinance, the concept of consolidation appears as a type of subdivision. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.